What's up? It's me, your boy, going through the markets this morning. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Let's go through and see what we're looking at for the macro morning here. So it looks like oil took back the wheel overnight. We got Brent up 2.6%. XLE is up like 0.8. So Iran re-hardened the Hormuz terms. So we're another week and another weekend of the Hormuz stuff. They're drafting bans on the ships, 20% of cargo penalty. So gold is basically just resting this morning. Just kind of hanging out, pretty flat. It ripped Friday on the NFP shock, so today it's cooling while oil leads. We're not seeing a risk off like we saw, or let's see, Friday was risk on. It looks like it was flipping to risk off this morning, but pre-market is basically back on risk on, it looks like. Equities are flat to green. VIX is 14.9 and falling. So the tape looks like it's narrowing to their oil trade and not fear, which is a good thing. We've been working on a new market review, which goes further into the weeds on macro and how everything relates to the rates, volatility, oil, the dollar. So building this in-house on SignalDeck, testing out internally. What do we see here? It's basically like a single session driver, reading the day's rates, dollar, everything that we have listed on the screen, and then names the region. So a read of the day, it's not really a swing signal per chance. Friday, it called a dovish-relief at high confidence. And it looked like it was right. So dovish in NFP, VIX down, dollar down, stocks up. So it looks like as we back check, it looks like it's good. So it's not cheerleading gold here. It's really just flagging it as extended, multi-day, weak confirmation. So we're going through sector rotation, trying to see what that kind of looks like here. And it's back into the XLB, XLY, XLU, and the tape looks like that. So gold extended, SMH extended, and we can kind of see that this morning if you look at the volume. Where's SMH at? Oh, that's not on here. But everything's kind of floating on thin volume from Friday. SMH is thin volume as well. So we had a huge, rather big move on Friday, and then it looks like we're not seeing participation in that. And if you look at XLU, XOP, looks like we're kind of flipping. So anyway, cyclicals are leading. Risk appetite is back on, it looks like. And we're kind of like, what's the noise? What's the signal here? The noise is dovish-relief, gold read, but the signal here is real rates are down, dollar's down, oil's down. So I think this was Friday. So playing around with that looks like a pretty interesting process there. So let's go through the trades and see what we're looking at here. So we have EPOL. Get this out of here. Okay, so pre-market is 44.20. So it looks like that's flat. Is that true? Okay, pre-market 43.81. So I don't know why that's getting it's up a little bit. Okay, so we're kind of raising up there on a lower volume. The stop. Let's see, where is this thing? Our primary target was 43.50. We're floating around there. I'm going to put a stop at that primary target. And we have multiple other targets. I think it's just primary target 2 at 55.80. So we're going to move the EPOL 43.50. And we just have kind of drifting on lower volume there. Okay, 43.50. Nice. So that's working out. IQLT, this has been a great position here. We move the stop to break even. This is a high volume hammer. And it looks like it is now pre-market past our primary. So we passed the conservative. We're now way past the primary. And we're going to see what that looked like. So I'm going to put the stop beyond that, and I'm going to hit this up into the 51.10 area. That's our conservative price target. That way if it slams down, we're at least into that. So we had a high volume hammer. That's not the greatest. So, okay, let's see here. High volume hammer. Moving stop loss to conservative. Price target. And what was that? So that would be 51.10. So that way if we get stopped out, we'll still hit our conservative price target. And we would still get a 1.9 multiple. We watched this ticker for a very long time, so it's great to see that move forward. IEFA. So we have a low volume upthrust, or low volume hammer. We got filled pretty late on this move. I think it's, yeah, I'm going to keep the stop loss as is. Are we getting different pre-market reads on this? That's weird. Have to look into that. Is that low volume? Good. EUFN. Got flat volume rising. Stop loss remains. Back was a high and tight. I probably won't play these really anymore because that doesn't really fit with my style, but it does look like a potential continuation there. Pre-market's flat. Just testing that July 27th area. Stop loss remains as we see where that goes. RVMD up pre-market. And let's see. We had a target. This might hit target today. Yeah, I gotta look at that. We're gonna watch RVMD and see what we need to do on that this morning. IDT, just further consolidating. Current is 63, 65. Okay. Making sure we're getting correct pre-market data in SignalDeck. So it looks like no trades. Okay, do we move that to break even? I guess that's what's happening there. Okay, so just further consolidating. Higher volume. AER. Looks like we got stopped out on that. I need to check that. And then ANF. This was an interesting one. Okay. Low volume rising up into that, so that's not a great sign. But we are in this like fair value gap thing here. I have a pretty high confidence on this. Okay. Path. Looks like this is finally breaking out on a low volume candle. And we're going to watch this and see where it goes. Okay, eco. Relatively flat. So we had a low volume pullback, tested our fill for stops, and it's back up. That's nice. Okay. Man, high tight pullback, low volume peaking out above our entry there. So plus remains, plus still getting hammered. And where did it go? Low volume, 88.95, and our stop was 88.94. I have a feeling we probably got stopped out on that, but that is a nice low volume. So I need to check that. Because that's pretty crazy. That's 1 penny away. FSLY. Looks like it's relatively flat. Low volume, upthrust. After that huge breakout, just retesting that line in the sand. It's interesting. Stop loss remains. Okay, looks like I said, let's look at the runs this morning. Let's see what strategy scans we have. Leadership, tons of names on leadership. Looks like 3M's kind of a high tight flag. SentinelOne, okay. Pull flag. Q's, they're showing up on dual momentum. Okay. Alright. Let's look at some of the charts, see if there's anything. Novo. Nvidia's rising. We bought some on Google Friday. CVS is further rolling over. EPOL. Visa's slamming down on low volume. Geo still not able to push through that high there. BMY we're watching, low volume pulling back there. Path is just exploding on low volume. These are mostly our positions that we've been watching. I should probably remove that. FXD, probably won't get into that. FXY, we're still waiting on the cash test zone in the 57 range. CDW looks really gross. Okay, so not a lot going on there. We're going to look at, we have a couple positions that we're going to move stops on this morning. And we did have a signal kickoff on DXIV. It's kind of a low volume thing there. Only 16,000, so I don't know. I'm on the fence on this, but it's a really good setup. Right above that 73.53 level. But I think I'm gonna pass on that. And we're just watching a bunch of stuff to see kind of where things go.